Hello, everyone. Last week, we had a very different episode. I had a lot of technical issues. I wasn't feeling well, and we were recreating the Laddie launch that had happened about 2 weeks ago, which was a probe to the moon. Before that, we had sent a rover to Mars that was somewhat of a failure. We got it to Mars. Everyone in the mission died, and the rover itself was rendered upside down and unusable. So it was sort of like we got there, but we didn't get there the way we wanted. So this week, let's try something new. I'm not sure what we're going to do or where we're going to go. I'm going to just sort of make it up as we go along. Actually, for a second, I thought about doing a recreation of the Voyager. I believe it was the Voyager, which has just reached interstellar space. If you've seen this in the news, it's a cool bit of news, which is the furthest we've ever sent a man-made object. This was a project that started back in the 70s, and it went and it took photos. The famous pale blue dot photo was taken by this, and a lot of news organizations are misreporting that it has left the solar system. It hasn't actually left the solar system. Interstellar space is still technically part of our solar system. In fact, all of the estimations I've read have it taking another 20 to 30,000 years before it properly leaves the solar system. You can almost think of it as the outer edges that it's just entered. But I think that was really cool. Unfortunately, like, recreating it isn't like a huge deal because we have time manipulation in this game. So I could just create a probe, shoot it up into space, and do 10x, and all of a sudden it's out of the galaxy, and, you know, what have we accomplished? So let's build a thing. You know what? I saw this really great Kerbal Space Program machinima, which is like a short film, about exploring the planet, this planet. Why don't we have something that explores this? So in honor of that, and it bugged me if I don't already have it up, but I'll annotate to it here in the video so you can watch it because it's really cool. But in honor of that, why don't we make something and do a project here and try and get to the South Pole, which is what was the project in this machinima, which was, again, really great use of soundtrack. So let's load up. Why don't we just load up our rover? Yeah, the rover to Dune. I mean, theoretically, it could have worked. The big problem was our rover was upside down when the parachutes deployed, and as a result, the two Kerbal knots who were on board were ejected forcefully from the rover and thrown straight into the planet. But what if we took this thing and we launched it, and instead of going to Dune, we just pointed it back at the South Pole and we had it land there? Let's give that a shot. So no building this week. If anything, you know what? We'll take this, let's reduce this to 3 tanks. We don't need all the tanks we had. What else? Crew. We can remove somebody. We'll remove Malwise. Sorry, Malwise. What else do we need to do? Is there anything we can do to we can make it lighter, I guess, because we don't need as much in terms of, like, this whole extra stage we don't need. So here's what I'll do. Let's just pull that off. We'll pull, how are you doing this? We've got these. And then we can remove this and delete it. And what can we, how do we go about this? So do we have a try? Yeah, we do. Okay. And then we take these and we plop them back up here. Great. So this is a lot lighter. We'll move these here. And then we still have that. So everything's the same. We just took out a stage that we just definitely didn't need. Everything else looks good. So we'll call it the rover to Kerbin. Let's save it. Let's launch it. I know in the new version of Kerbal Space Program, they're adding subcomponents, which is great. For instance, I can make that rover, make it a subcomponent, and then whatever I'm building, I could just pull up that rover and attach it. I don't have to recreate it. I can't wait for that. That's going to be so exciting. All right, this should be a standard launch. I don't know why all three people are here. I thought I pulled them off. You know what? Just so you're safe. Whatever. Whatever, you're going to space. Enjoy space! Now, normally, we roll in a certain direction to create an orbit, but if we're going to the South Pole, then we don't need to roll in that direction. We can roll in, we can roll south, essentially. So that's going to be one difference with our launch here. We're already leaning east a little bit. West, I should say. Leaning west? No, wait a minute. Whoa, what was that? Uh-oh, I forgot to fix the staging. This should not be a big issue. I mean, it might make us a little less efficient, but we don't have those 3 rockets. It's not doing us any good. But that means these should last longer, so just should be fine. Now, the thing is, I could get us into a trajectory that would have us hit the South Pole, but the reason I think we need to have, like, a launch almost as if we're going in orbit is because I need to buy us enough time so that I could get Bill and Jeb out of the ship and into the rover, which means I need them to be outside of the atmosphere, essentially. Oh, right, time for... So we're going to go south now instead of 90 degrees. And we're going to try and create a polar orbit, I guess? I don't know if there's a name for it. Which should take more fuel because you're not using the benefit of the planet's rotation to your advantage. Because the fact of the matter is, at least on Earth, Earth is roughly spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, right? So when you're taking off, your relative motion is 1,000 miles in a certain direction. So you can always use that to your advantage when you're trying to make an orbit. Here, I have to now fight that, and so that's going to require more fuel. Hopefully, that's okay, though. There we go. I was going to say, I didn't want to carry those big tanks with us all the way. And of course, we don't need it to be a perfect orbit. So as you can see, our apoapsis is growing a lot slower than it usually would. How are we doing on battery? We're good, right? Yeah. So here's what I'm thinking. Apoapsis is 123. I'm cutting it there. We have 3 minutes until that point. We're above the atmosphere, so I think it's time to do transfers now. So let's do them. I believe it's a lot easier because all I have to do is click and click board. No. And it'll jump and let me board. Yeah, just like that. And then let's get Jeb out there. And we'll let go. Get some rockets going. Let's get him in the back seat. Let's board him. Okay, so now we've got the rocket again. We're in a path so we can speed things up. Only so much, though, because we're not. Okay, here we go. By the way, Malwise, you take care of... Let's disconnect. Now, can I switch back to Malwise? I can. So let's tilt him into a somewhat... right above there. And let's try and get him into orbit real quick. See if we could do it. I mean, we have a good amount of fuel. I think it's very possible. Just to save his life. We just need to get this. I want to get it to about 100 or more. Great. So he is alive. That is good. Good news. Now we need to switch back to the rover. That's not the target. I just want to go there. Okay, let's go to our space center. This may be the first mission where nobody dies. This might be amazing. And then we want this on suborbital trajectory. That is the one. They're flying a rover. This is so crazy. Can you imagine what they would... That looks incredible. That is a great view. I'm so glad we decided to do this week. Okay, I'm trying to just get us level so that we don't run into the same issues as before. We are going pretty fast. This is perfect. This is, if we can hold this, then we're in good shape. Music's done, which means we're heading into the atmosphere, as you can see. I'm going to trigger the parachutes. We're running on battery power now. It looks like we should have no problem. Now, what's our trajectory look like? Okay. There's no risk of landing in that water over there, it doesn't seem like. We're only going to slow down. Let's get a look. Can you imagine that view? Can you imagine how scary it would be? I'm going to try and keep us tilted above the horizon so that there's no risk of this thing flipping over and us having a repeat situation where it lands upside down. However, we seem to be rotating, and that's because we're at the pole, I guess. And I'm losing control. I don't have control. This is happening on purpose that we're flipping over. So I'm going to try and loop us around. I don't want to have the same situation. Come on, let's flip over the right way. No, 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 come on. Why is it upside down? We're going to have the same situation. The same exact thing is going to happen. I don't know why it's this way. Are the parachutes upside down? Should I rotate the parachutes? But no, that can't be it, because I've always in the past have had... Is it because of the lights? Nope, lights are... It should be basically the same. They're going to be ejected. They're going to be ejected again. They're going to die. Let's try some emergency rolling maneuvers at least. Something. Something. This thing's got to move. It is... They're dead. They're dead meat. I'm going to try and use momentum to flip it over. Come on, come on, come on. I can't get it above that white bar. It's these things upside down. They're dead meat. I hardly knew you. Oh my gosh. This is brutal. This is brutal knowing that they're going to share the same fate. Now, if I took these and rotated them around, would the natural point be up? Like, why? Or is it because with all this stuff on the bottom end, it becomes bottom heavy? Or it's top heavy and it flips over? I'm like, what is... Maybe that's what it is. There's too much stuff on top of it. And so the heaviest part naturally goes to the bottom. All I know is they're a minute from death. Less than a minute from death. Please hold on. Hold on tight. Oh my gosh. They made it. Oh my gosh. I can't believe they made it. Okay, let's raise these so they don't crack their heads open on the South Pole when it lands. And then I believe they can flip it over. I remember reading a commenter had said. 4.9. We're in good shape. Let's speed things up a little bit. Did we just lose one? Who just fell? Oh my gosh, that was somebody. Somebody's dead. All because I was so focused on time. Who's left? Jeb's alive. Okay. Jeb, hold on. Hold on so tight. We've already suffered our first loss and we haven't even landed yet. Come on, you could do it, buddy. You have 200 meters to go. That's only 600 feet. You could totally take that fall. Is that what it is? 3 feet to a meter? I'm thinking 3 feet to a yard. 100. Oh my gosh, you got this. Racers sprint this distant. You don't have to worry. Just hold on. Make sure those biceps, because we're gonna need them to flip this thing over. Apparently. Oop. Come on, flip. Yes, come on. Boom. He is alive. Our backup plan worked. Let's extend our panels, get some solar power going. So weird that I picked the opposite ones on accident. This thing can't turn around, so we might as well retract it. And I guess this would be the same long one. Yeah. There we go. Are we not getting power? I've got solar panels. Oh yeah, it is going up. Let's see, Jeb. Jeb, what are you up to, Jeb, here? Can I switch to Jeb? Wow. Oh, you're still technically on this. Okay, might as well board that one because, yeah, here you go. Now, can I drive it? As you, Jeb? Yes. Here we go. Let's fill up. We've made it. We're at the South Pole. Let's see where we are. Wow. We're not technically at the south, but we're pretty much there. Where's the sun in relation to... Okay, so the sun's not the direction we want to go. We actually want to go away from the sun. So let's pull in our panels. I think I have these set to a... There we go. No, retract. Okay, where's the sun? That way? So we're going this way. I'm going to lower these legs, and we're going to set off. So make the long shadow long and follow that. There's no way we're going to make it to the South Pole. This thing will go fast, but it will not go fast enough. But I just thought it'd be cool to explore this Arctic tundra. At least until we run out of batteries. It seems to be more or less flatlands, even though it's got sort of a bumpy texture. So I guess there's no downside to going a little fast here. We certainly have enough battery power. Jeb's out here all alone. I can't believe we lost the other one. I guess maybe because it seemed like Jeb wasn't actually in the seat, or it was just like very loose, and so I guess maybe when I sped things up, it messed with the physics a little too much. And well, let's zoom out and see if we can spot the South Pole, the true South Pole. So I could see it. It's like right around here, which is super far away. No way we're gonna make it. How would you even know you were in the South Pole? I guess in terms of stars, it would nothing. I don't know. Wow. So we're like, where were we? We're here. South Pole all the way over there. That would take so long to get to. So here's what we'll do. Ooh. Slow turn, slow turn. Slow turn towards the sun. Come to a stop. Brake. There was a brake button. I forgot what it was. B? Yeah, brakes. Great. Let's hit our panels. Get some solar power going. Ooh, I guess we sort of need to be on a slight turn. There you go. Got plenty of solar power. All right. Now let's check out the third astronaut. Let's break this situation down. You've got fuel. Yes, you do. So here's what we're going to do. At the apoapsis, when we're going slowest, we're going to add a maneuver to go retrograde. It is going to remove our orbit. We will be suborbital. And we're going to use all the fuel we have in our re-entry to slow down the ship as much as possible in hopes that Malwise can make this. It'll be rough. He might be stranded in the ocean in his pod, but we can assume that the naval forces will come and get him. So we have a who knows how long the burn is in 14 minutes. So let's speed things up. So let's bring him home. We're not going to lose a second. Three, 2, 1. Okay, This is good enough. There we go. We are suborbital. Let's speed things up again. North Pole, there's the North Pole. Now we're headed all the way to the South Pole. We're not going to get to the South Pole, but... Oh, and it's going to be dark. That's going to make things rough. Okay, so for this, what's important is that we have to be in retrograde. And we have to follow retrograde because it's going to change. And I think towards the very end, we just have to hit those rockets full speed and just offset as much of the speed that we're approaching the planet with. So let's speed things up. I think we should get, when we get into blue, light blue here. Now let's see. Where does it project us landing? In the ocean. Although we might be hitting land. Oh man, that's going to make things a lot harder. So now our rockets are fighting gravity, and we're slowing us down in the same way the parachute would. But we need to conserve fuel and sort of... Sort of like the way we try to keep it under 200 meters, under 10,000. I guess we're sort of going in reverse there. We're trying to go from 200 to 0 within these last 10,000. Now, it looks like in terms of fuel, it seems possible. We've got, I'd say, a fifth a tank of gas. We're at 6,000 meters. The thing is, as we slow down, the slower we're gonna land. So it's gonna take longer and then more fuel. So it's sort of like a trade-off. The goal here isn't to land perfectly. I don't think that's possible. People used to do it when they were landing on the moon. They'd land something like this, standing up perfectly, which always blew my mind. I was never able to do anything like that. Okay, we're still coming in too hot. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. He made it. We did it. Oh, man, he survived. He had no landing pod whatsoever, and he walks out of it alive. There's the moon. Where is he? So he's here, stranded on this continent, the southern continent. Down there. Which on the map is there, and then he's got his buddy over there. So there you have it. That was a successful mission. We lost 1 out of 3 people, but we've landed a rover on the South Pole. We've landed him, and we didn't even have a plan to do that. That was just sort of there. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any suggestions on what to do next week, I'd love to hear them. I hope you have a great week ahead of you. Whatever you're doing, make the most of it. Never stop trying to learn. And I hope to see you here next week for the next episode of Kerbal Space Program. Bye, everyone.